So while I'm in traffic, I figure let's go ahead and let's do a check-in of characters this week. So book 2, I did a little bit of work, and then I started working a lot on book 3. So right now in book 3, the MMC has asked the FMC to marry him. Yes, he's asked. Now, I do need to work on a little bit more kind of filling in the gaps of the build-up, because I wrote this scene. So I wrote the scene before that scene like a while ago, so I had to kind of go back and reference and be like, oh wait, has her parents shown up yet? And they have. The parents from frickin' hell have already been shown up. So I'm like, okay, so when I write this scene, it needed to happen in a way that the parents were already there, instead of saying like, oh, when your parents come. He would be referencing them in present time, like, oh yeah, your parents are just freaking god awful, so let's just go ahead and get married, right? So that's currently what's happening. And I have to say, I'm excited for this. I'm excited. Now, I did have it initially set where they would get married, duh, and then he would eventually ask her to move out of Belfast with him. But I've kind of written it where he's already asked her, like point blank, where he's like, well, this is what I want to do, and you and the baby can come with me, and you know, we get married, we have a great life, everything else. So I already had that kind of set, because I got to thinking, if I write it the other way, it's kind of a cliche moment, right? You know, it's a very cliche moment where it's like, oh, she realizes how much he loves her when, you know, he's getting ready to leave and he asks her to come with him. It's so cliche. So because of that, I had to figure out another moment where she figures out that he truly does love her, and it's not out of like requirement because they're married. So yeah, I've already kind of written out, I'm not going to say that. I should not say that. Written out. I'm going to say I've outlined the epilogue, and the epilogue is going to be them having the baby. So I've decided, you know, let's kind of set the tone for like during the pregnancy, and then have the epilogue as that amazing moment when she finally has her baby, and he's finally a dad. So I got that figured out, but I also need to figure out when the asshole ex comes back in the picture and the MMC puts him in his place. Legally. Okay, we're not killing people in this one. Okay. Well, yeah, no. This MMC's a good person. Okay, he's a good person. Will he do things legally that's probably a little unhinged? Yeah, he might make us some things and get some things going legally, but he's not gonna kill anybody. He's a good person. Okay, so I'm feeling really good about book 3. I've been stuck on this for a long time, and when I say a long time, I would say like almost a year. Yeah. Because it's tropes that really, it's the baby trope, because I want to write it in a way that's not offending anyone. Just because, you know, when it comes to the fertility trope or pregnancy trope, there's a lot of feelings, and I want to make sure that I'm not offending anyone and that everybody is hunky-dory, and yeah. Now, I know some people are not going to be able to read the book just because of the pregnancy trope, even though she doesn't have the baby into the epilogue. It can still trigger some people, so I'm trying to write this in a way, one, that's realistic, okay? Because you don't want, nothing annoys me more than a trope that makes absolutely no sense. And when I say that, I mean the pregnancy trope. Like when the girl like meets this one guy and whatever and just gets pregnant. Okay, can it happen? Yes, But most of the time, it takes a lot of tries to make that happen. Not just like a one-night stand. Can it happen with a one-night stand? Absolutely. But realistically, no. So when it comes to the pregnancy trope, I try to be very realistic when I'm even reading it. And now that I'm writing it, yeah. So now that that's figured out, I feel like we got some really good solid ground here. Yeah. Now I just have to figure out, how am I going to bring the ex back into it? I already kind of have an idea, but I'm trying to figure out how far into the book I need to bring him. Right now, she's like at the early stages. She's like first trimester-ish. I don't want to bring her in then, because I want to really have her and the MMC build that emotional connection together before it comes. Because at that point, he's not just fighting for, her. He's fighting for the kid that they're going to be having together, even though it's not biologically his. So I need a lot of emotion. I need a lot of emotional buy-in when I bring the ex back into the picture. So I figure if I put it off to maybe the end of the second trimester, maybe into the third, where she's getting close to having the baby. But again, you have that epilogue where she does have the baby. So I need to figure out where exactly I want it, because you don't want it last minute. Like, I don't want it last minute towards the end of the book where everything's kind of rushed and readers are like, okay, so the ex comes back and the MMC just deals with all this stuff legally and we don't know anything in between. But it just kind of happens all in one chapter. I don't want that. So I might have to move it up, but we'll see. But that's what my characters are doing. Yes, we got a wedding, people. We got a wedding coming. And I am here for it. I'm here for it. And you should be too. So tune in next week and let's see how that all goes.